In this video, we're going to solve simple rational equations. So all four examples here are very similar to one another. So we're just going to use similar and simple method to solve this. Let's take example number 1. 4x minus 2 over 2x equals 7. So for us to be able to solve this kind of rational equations, we can rewrite first the right side of the equation. Since this is equal to 7, we can rewrite 7 to 7 over 1 because they're just the same. And now once we did that, we can go ahead and apply cross multiplication. And by using cross multiplication, we should have a new simple equation. So let's cross multiply 4x minus 2 times 1 first. So I'm going to put 1 times, I'm going to use parentheses, times 4x minus 2 equals the other side of the equation, which is 7 times 2x. So again, I'm going to use parentheses and put 7 outside. And now we have this simple equation, 1 times 4x minus 2 equals 7 times 2x. Since we have these numbers in front of our parentheses, we can apply distributive property and distribute those numbers to the terms inside our parentheses. So we have 1 times 4x, that's equals 4x, and then 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Equals 7 times 2x will give you 14x. Alright, now once you have this, we can combine like terms. We can combine the terms with variables. In this case, we have 4x and 14x. We can combine them. I can combine 4x to 14x by taking away 4x on this side, on the left side of the equation. By doing that, this cancels out and you have negative 2 left on the left side of your equation equals 14x, and then take away 4x gives you 10x. So now you have negative 2 equals 10x, and this is now one-step equation. Since we're solving for x, we can divide both sides by 10. So you have this canceled out. Now you have x equals negative 2 over 10. And since negative 2 over 10 can be simplified by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 2, it should give you 1 over 5. And if you want to change this to decimal form, you should have, you can use your calculator and divide negative 1 divided by 5. In decimal form, that would be negative 0.20. So decimal form, or the simplified form of this fraction, is acceptable. All right, number 2, we have 3x minus 2 over 3x plus 1 equals 3. So this is very similar to number 1. Since this is 3, a whole number 3, we can rewrite this as 3 over 1, so that we can start cross multiplying and knowing that the denominator of 3 is equal to 1. All right, so now cross multiplying, I'm going to do 3x minus 2 times 1 first. So same manner that we did in our first one, I'm going to put 1 and then parentheses 3x minus 2 equals 3 times 3x plus 1. So again, I cross multiply both of them. And now we had these numbers in front of our parentheses. So what we're going to do is to distribute. I'm going to distribute the 1 to the terms inside my parentheses and the 3 inside the parentheses. All right, so by doing that, 1 times 3x, we have 3x. minus 1 times -2 is -2 equals 3 times 3x will give you 9x, and then 3 times 1 will give you 3. Now once you have this is plus 3. Okay, now once you're on this step, you can combine like terms. We can combine 3x and 9x, so that means I'm going to take away 3x on both sides. And this becomes -2 on the left side of your equation, equals 9x minus 3x gives you 6x, and then plus 3. Since we're solving for x, we need to isolate the variable, and we can combine 3 and -2 by taking away 3 on both sides. So we have 6x equals -2 minus 3 will give you -5. Now you have 6x equals -5. This is one simple equation, one-step equation. We can divide both sides by 6, and your x is going to be equal to -5/6. And like I said, if you want to change that to decimal, you can just divide -5 divided by 6. All right, number 3, we have 4x minus 6 over 3x minus 9 equals 1/3. Now in this case, the right side of your equation is not a whole number anymore, so we don't have to write over 1. This is already in fraction form. We can just go ahead and cross multiply this equation. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 4x minus 6 equals, I'm going to close it out, equals 1 times 3x minus 9. So now I have those numbers outside the parentheses, so I'm going to distribute. So the same process, we distribute. So we got 3 times 4x will give you 12x, and then 3 times -6 will give you -18, equals 1 times 3x is 3x, 1 times -9 is -9. The next step is combining like terms, and we're isolating our x variable. So I'm going to take away 3x on both sides first. You can also do take away 12x on both sides, but that will give you negative and will add you one more step. So it's easier to take away 3x on both sides instead of take away 12x on both sides. So 12x minus 3x will give you 9x minus 18 equals -9. Now you have that new equation. What we can do next is we can add 18 on both sides because we're isolating our variable. So this canceled out. You got 9x equals +9, and that's one-step equation. You have 9x equals +9. Divide both sides by 9 since we are solving for x. Your x is equal to 1. All right, next we have 6 over 2x minus 6 equals 3. This is similar to numbers 1 and 2. We can rewrite 3 as 3 over 1 and then just cross multiply. So 6 times 1 or 1 times 6 is are the same thing, and then 3 times 2x minus 6. So since it's multiplication, it doesn't matter whether you put 1 times 6 or 6 times 1, it will give you the same answer. All right, so let's perform the operations. And since you have these numbers outside your parentheses, you can start distributing. So 6 times 1 is 6 equals 3 times 2x is 6x. And then 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Combining like terms, we are isolating our x here. So I'm going to take, I'm going to add 18 on both sides so that I can get rid of the negative 18. So this becomes 0. So what's left on the right side is 6x equals 6 plus 18 will give us 24. And then you divide both sides by 6. Your x is equal to 4. And there you have it. I hope this helps.